Hey guys, it's Hardway. Another road trip, another rant. This time I thought it would be kind of fun to talk about just kind of like reliving each of the Halo games, like everything I remember about that period of my life, and just kind of like trying to recount all of my memories from, for example, from Halo 1, from 2001 to when Halo 2 came out in November of 2004. And yeah, I thought it would make for like just kind of fun to go through the nostalgia of that, and then, you know, if you wanted to comment your experience with the game and some of the fond memories you have with it. I don't know, I think it'd make for kind of a fun series and a fun way to pass the time while I'm on the road here. So yeah, I guess starting with Halo 1. So that game came out in 2001. In November of 2001, I would have been a freshman in high school. I was living in San Antonio, Texas at the time. I had just gone to go live with my dad. I'd been living with my mom throughout, all my childhoods. I just switched parents, which is a big deal when you're, 13 years old. And I didn't have an Xbox. I didn't even really want an Xbox. I wasn't paying any attention to it. I was paying much closer attention to the PS2 at the time. But I was just all in on the N64 at that point in my life. I was a huge fan of Perfect Dark. That was like the extent of my shooter. I mean, I had played other shooters, but that was all I really cared about at the moment. And yeah, I wasn't even really. I wasn't trying to get a PS2. Like they were expensive and kind of hard to find. And I was happy. I had my N64, and I had recently gotten the PS1. So I just I was just inundated with stuff to play. Like I was playing like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 like every day. I played the holy hell out of that game. And so I didn't get to play Halo for the first time until summer of 2002. I was visiting my mom back in Florida, and I was visiting some of my friends. So I was staying at one of my friends' places back in Florida, and he told me one of his friends had this new Halo game he wanted to try, and that all four of us could play, and we didn't all have to be on the same screen, so we could play like 2-on-2s on different screens. And I was like, that sounds awesome. Like, yeah, absolutely, let's try it. And so we went to, like, only one of us had an Xbox, and so we went to Blockbuster and rented an Xbox. That was something you could do back in the day. And so we rented an Xbox and got the crossover cable so that we could system link, and got the extra controllers and everything. And we had one TV set up in their living room and another set up in their computer room. And I just remember getting destroyed, like so bad. And it's funny, like, looking back on it, because nobody in that house was remotely good at Halo. But I think I was the worst at that point, because, I don't know if you remember the first time you played a shooter on twin sticks, like where you move with the left stick and aim with the right. But especially if that's not like the first shooter you ever played, going from playing something on the N64 to that was hard. It was really hard at first. So I was just, and on top of that, you don't know what any of the weapons do. You don't know any of the maps. You don't know where stuff spawns. I knew absolutely nothing. And I remember my first game, like the kid who owned it was really excited to play Blood Gulch because, it had the vehicles, obviously, and he had like loaded it up in split screen and like kind of had seen the maps before, and he was just itching to play it. And so this was like his first time really getting to play multiplayer too. The kid who actually owned Halo. And so I remember us playing like some like 2v2 Slayer on Blood Gulch, which just sounds miserable. And it was particularly miserable for me. I just remember this kid going on a Running Riot and just like he had never even heard the voice line for Running Riot before, and he was just like freaking out. And I'm just getting pissed because I'm getting smoked so bad and I don't know my ass from my elbow in the game. That was my first game of Halo, and I was not a fan. I was really not a fan. But I stuck with it a little longer. We kept landing it. And I remember playing like CTF on longest 2v2. And that was kind of when I really started to turn the corner with the game. In terms of like actually enjoying myself. Like, this is fucking awesome. This is the most intense multiplayer I'd ever played. Because I was not a PC gamer at all. So getting to play against real humans that I'm not sharing a screen with was a totally novel experience for me. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. So that was the first time I ever got to play. And I think like a year passed without me playing it again. I think I started going over to friends' houses at the beginning of my junior year in high school. This would have been 2003. Like early fall, like September 2003, we started to land with some of my local friends in Columbus. Again, everybody was terrible. So everybody was absolute garbage at the game. But I remember just going, kind of getting my ass kicked, but appreciating the game so much that I just wanted to keep playing. And it was like a sleepover. There were a bunch of us there. And like, I'll never forget, like everybody went to bed except for me and one other kid who also did not have an Xbox. And we just started playing campaign. And for some reason we wanted to play it on Legendary, even though, we didn't know shit about the game. And we just played for hours and hours. And I remember us getting to Assault in the Control Room. And it legitimately took us every bit of 3 hours to beat that mission. And it was so late when we finally finished it. We just like basically passed out right there on the spot. It's just like, it's such a fond memory looking back on it. Just like how bad we were, but how like just magical the game was at the time. And so I kept going to LANs, and that was the cool thing about Halo 1 is that you couldn't play it online. But the game was so good, everybody wanted to play it. So you like had to meet people, and you had to go places and meet new people if you wanted to keep playing the game. And so I made like so many friends through the game, and I remember, and I couldn't drive yet. And I remember just asking my dad to take me to places of people that I barely knew, total strangers' houses, to come play this game for like a few hours, and then he'd come pick me up like 3 or 4 hours later, and I'd just be like bouncing off the walls in the car like, that was so much fucking fun, oh my god, I can't wait to do it again. And like my dad gives zero fucks about video games, could not possibly care less. But so like I'm sure like he just loves driving me around to all these fucking lands, like, oh, my total nerd of a son. But I mean, so he's looking at this, and he sees how happy the game makes me, and for some reason I'm still not even considering asking for an Xbox. This is 2 years after the console's been out, but he sees how much fun I'm having going to these LANs, and so he surprises me with one for Christmas that year, and he gives me Halo 1, and I just devour the game, devour it, like beat it on every difficulty within like 2 weeks. I'm trying every chance I get. I'm trying to land it. My group that I had been landing with, I probably burned through it a little too quick, because like once I had the game and I could play it more often, I got a lot better, a lot faster. And all of a sudden, the people that I had been playing with, they're starting to lose, and they don't want to play as much. So I'm like, well, shit, I got to find more people to play with. I remember looking into XBC and learning how to set that up. I was so bad at it, and I remember hosting and people joining and whooping my ass, or me joining other people's games and just struggling mightily to learn how to play off host. Oh, that reminds me, that first summer in 2002, we went over to the kid's house who owned Halo, and he had XBC set up. He had like just learned how to set it up. And I remember us hosting. It was me, the kid who had the game, and my other good friend. It was 3 of us hosting against this like 2-box on like Blood Gulch CTF or something. And I was like, well, there's more of us. This should be easy. And we're hosts. We got slaughtered so bad. Like, I don't know that I've ever been beaten so fucking badly. And it wasn't even like quick either. They took their time and just killed the shit out of us. I don't think we capped a single time. They would get like last second returns. So like we'd be driving halfway across the map and just get sniped out of our ghosts, and we'd all lose our fucking minds. Like, how are they this good? They're everywhere. There's only 2 of them. What the fuck? It's just one of those like all-time ass beatings that you just don't ever let go of. So that was fresh in my mind when I'm hooking up XBC to play at home in the fall of in early 2004. When I'm just, it's everything I can do to set up a LAN. You know, none of my friends that I had been LANing with liked the game, I don't know, 10% as much as I did. I always wanted to play it. I thought of a few more memories I wanted to share, and I'll just edit this in somewhere. I wanted to talk about the first time I ever got to play 8v8, which was, back then, that was like the holy grail. Like, if you could, when you looked at that system link screen in Halo 1 and you saw all those hollow controller icons, and you just imagine, like, what would that even feel like to see all these lit up with people ready to play? Like, I didn't ever think I would get the chance to do it. 16 people all in the same house, ready to go. But I did. We had one of the kids in my English class is a big PC gamer, and we would always talk. Like, we were buds, but we never played any of the same games. But I remember his like parents were going out of town or something, and he had this big ass LAN at his house. And it was like PC gamers, and they were playing like Unreal Tournament 2003, and that was all like the upstairs or like the main floor of his house. But his basement, he was kind enough to set that up to be an Xbox LAN, and yeah, we were able to get 16 people, and eventually, like, I think they had a couple of stations set up upstairs to once they found out how many people wanted to play an 8v8 game. So we played like basement versus first floor or something. And yeah, I remember the first game I ever played AV8 was Sidewinder CTF. And I was just so geeked, man. Like, I remember spawning in and just like not even knowing what I wanted to do. Like, oh, do I want to go for snipe? Do I want to get in a tank? Do I want to push for rockets and play the outer clip? Like, I just, like, it was overwhelming because like everybody's running around, running for different shit off spawn. And like now, like, we're so conditioned to like big games starting out. You kind of know what you want to do. It's routine now, but like loading into a game back then and never seeing that many little green teammate arrows in your life, and then you push out to like the halfway point of the map and you've never seen so many enemies on screen at once. You're like, holy shit, this is amazing. Until like the stalemate starts to set in and you realize how fucking difficult it is to score in Sidewinder CTF. I can't remember who won. I remember it being a pretty slow-paced game, and then so a lot of people like kind of tapped out after that, and we played one more. I don't remember if it was a full 8-on-8 or not, but we shifted back down into the basement where the lowly scum console players were. And we played another big-ass game. It might have been like 6-on-6 or 7-on-7. But we played a Blood Gulch game. And that one was every bit of 3 hours. Like, it was one of the longest games I've ever played in my life. Because, like, you know, if you've ever landed a big game of Blood Gulch CTF with, you know, just like your random casual players, you know, like the one guy that gets sick of dying fighting for map control. So he resorts to camping the flag with a shotgun. And he starts getting kills with that because people aren't expecting it. or when they do start to expect it, like he plays his life long enough, and the guy just can't live and get out with the flag before somebody else kills him. And so he sees that it's working, and he keeps doing it. And now there's somebody on both teams doing it, sometimes more than one person doing it. And it just makes the game last so fucking long. Because one team isn't good enough to control the map to, actually surround them and punish them for it. And you have to kind of learn the hard way that, like, okay, I'm not going to get this flag out unless I have rockets, and I have to bring rockets to their roof, or just nuke the shotgun camper. So yeah, it was like this long period of trial and error. And then you got, guys pulling the snipe, and they want to be the guy that gets up in the spot, in their little glitchy spot, even though they can't hit the broadside of a fucking barn, and they stand still and they're 10x, and they waste all the ammo. So I mean, it was just like your stereotypical noob game that takes forever, but it was fun. It was the first time I've ever gotten to do that. It still might be the longest game I've ever played. So yeah, I wanted to share that memory. I wanted to share the memory of my favorite kill at a LAN before Halo 2 came out. It wasn't anything super flashy. It's not like it wasn't anything montage worthy, but it was what happened afterward. I made a kid quit the LAN. Like, on the spot, he quit out of the game, he packed up his shit, and he went home. We were on Damnation, and he is jumping from red shelf to get the overshield. And I don't know how he didn't see me. He must have just been looking straight at the overshield and, like, concentrating on, like, crouching when he lands. It must have, like, taken all of his, brain power to focus on sticking the landing. Even though you're landing on an overshield, it doesn't really fucking matter. But I'm jumping out of the snipe window on the opposite side, and I have a shotgun. And I see him coming, and I see he's not shooting at me. If he saw me, he could have killed me. And so we were both jumping for the overshield at the same time. He has no idea I'm there, and I just one-shot him with a shotgun right in his belly button, right as his feet are about to hit the overshield. And all he sees on his death screen is me just crouching on his dead body, having just gotten the overshield he was jumping for. And so he's just like, fuck this, I'm out. God damn it, you hear his fucking controller, like, spike against the floor. And it's like, oh, so-and-so has quit out of the game. And I just, like... And I was laughing so hard, and I didn't even realize that he had left until the game was over. I'm like, where'd he go? And it's like, dude, he left. Like, Jesus, dude, I made somebody quit the LAN. Oh my God. So that's my favorite kill I ever got before Halo 2 came out. Biggest LAN I ever went to. So I just wanted to share a few quick ones that I forgot to mention. Those same PC kids that hosted my first AV8 LAN, one of their buddies, I guess his parents, like, I don't know if they owned a country club or they had the sway to rent out, like, this huge banquet hall of a country club. And this kid, I don't know how the fuck he had these connections, but he put together a LAN of, no joke, like 200 people. And it was mostly PC players, but we had our space too to play Halo 1, and they had, like, DDR stations and stuff. And that was an overnight LAN that my dad took me to. He took me to a bunch of different LANs. God bless him. The guy hates video games, but he was very cool about that. And yeah, so that's the biggest, like, MLG tournament. That's the biggest just LAN for LAN's sake one I've ever attended. That would have been in, like, 2004. It was fucking awesome. Like, a lot of the PC guys were playing Halo 1 on PC, but they would bounce around. There was a lot of, like, Counter-Strike and stuff too, and I would just watch them because I didn't play on PC. And it looked like fun. Like, it was just incredible. The vast majority of the attendees there were PC players. But yeah, I definitely got a shitload of games in of Halo 1. It was worth going to. I played all fucking night. My dad picked me up at, like, 7 in the morning, and I was just exhausted. But, like, that was the type of shit that we used to do before Xbox Live came around and ruined it, if you want to put it that way. Because, yeah, like, that used to be, like, the only outlet for stuff like that. Granted, I still had tons of fun after Xbox Live came out, but those were just, like, really special memories that were just born out of the limitations that we were living under at the time. See, I'll edit this in before I finish this video. I forgot to mention it in my first go-round. And so I spent, from Christmas 03 until Halo 2 came out in 04, I spent every ounce of my energy basically was trying to set up a LAN for Halo 1. That would have been end of my junior year and beginning of my senior year in high school. And then, the Halo 2 is fixing to come out, and I'm just trying to set up like any last, like there was a sense of urgency with that, because I knew once that game came out, everybody was going to be done with Halo 1. I was just completely done with it, and I was like, well, I felt like I was never going to get to land the game again. Little did I know I would end up landing it way more after Halo 2 came out, but that was because it was so unavailable, because you had to do the legwork of setting it up. It felt so much more special back then, and that's what I remember about it. I wasn't a tournament player. I wasn't following the tournament scene at all. I was too preoccupied with just trying to play it at all. So that was my experience with the game. Those are the things I remember most about it. Halo 2 came out in November of 2004. I was a senior in high school, and for a while after Halo 2 came out, it was very, very difficult to get anybody to want to play Halo 1. To get anybody to even want to LAN was difficult, because you could play it online. They're like, why would I want to bring all my shit to your house? So you can just play it online. And I knew that was going to happen. So, it was a little bit sad there for a little while, until I found other ways to LAN the game later on. But man, I had a lot of really good times with that game. I met a lot of cool people, and just the things that I had to go through just to get to play the game that I had fallen completely in love with added so much character to the game. And that continued to be true decades later, when I would go to like Beachland and shit. I've met so many awesome people through Halo 1, and I think a lot of that has to do with because you had to play it in person. And I'm sure Smash Melee people can relate to that. But anyways, that's everything I can remember about the Halo 1 lifespan, 2001 to 2004, what I was doing at the time. I'll probably do another one for Halo 2 and so on. Anyways, we'll see how it sounds and see if this is worth doing. Feel free to share your experiences in the comments as well. I think it'd be really fun to read what you guys went through as well. All right, this is it. Hardway signing out.